Hi, everybody. Welcome. We have Coach Ewing here.
Oh, but it's all right.
Hop right in. Bobby, are you ready? Let's do it. Go for it.
Hey, Patrick.
First of all, if y'all was my team, y'all been running suicide. Y'all are late.
I tell you what, I definitely could use some suicide to drop.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you have an update? You had mentioned that Tim was getting an X-ray after the game. Do you have an update on the result of that?
Yeah, Tim fractured his hand. He had surgery yesterday, so he's out for 4 to 6 weeks.
And okay, so that's your starting center. Is this something where you feel Ryan and Malcolm are ready for the bump in minutes, or is there maybe a change of lineups you need to consider?
Hey, next man up. Everybody will have an opportunity. Malcolm and Ryan will have the first crack, whichever way it goes. And then depending on how things are going, someone else might have that opportunity.
And then one more health question. How is Kobe Clark? We haven't really seen a lot of him.
He was hurt for most of the early in the season, early when we first started, still early. But, I can't play everybody. So at some point, he'll have his opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Ron.
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
My bad. For those of us who haven't seen South Carolina yet, what kind of team are they and how do they approach the game this season?
Well, just like everybody, they're trying to, find their identity. They're a tough defensive team. They struggle to score sometimes, but they're a veteran team and, it's going to be a tough task. When you go into another team's house, you have to bring your A game. They're very physical. They, Coach, he coached them hard. He coaches them well, and we have to be ready for that game. It's going to be a dogfight.
Speaking of identity, how far are you guys along to determining what you will be this year?
Still working on that. When you have all these new faces, it's going to take some time to find your identity. We're still trying to be an outstanding defensive team. We have 2 guys that are elite shooters that, we need for them to help us move the scoreboard, along with Amino and the rest of the guys. We had a big boost from Colin in our last game off the bench, giving us 23 points. So we also need our bench to be more productive than it has been.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Patrick Ewing.
Hey, Coach. Just talking about Colin Hollowey's increase in minutes and production last game. What do you think about that now, a couple of days after? And then how do you think that's going to factor into your rotations and minutes going forward?
In terms of increased minutes, that's all game time decision. Depending on how the team is doing, depending on how the flow is going, you try to, give guys the opportunity when it presents itself. And Colin got out there. They were playing small, so our bigs weren't being very effective. So we had to adjust and go small. So I'm sure there'll be other opportunities for us to go small, and Colin being able to use the things that he does. He can shoot the ball. He can put it on the floor. And also, is a very good defender. So, I wasn't surprised at the type of game that he had. He's been here now for 4 years. For this is his second year. So he knew what to expect from us and the things that we do. So I think that's a plus.
And I want to ask you a quick question too, as far as on the women's side of basketball. You guys are going to South Carolina, and of course, Dawn Staley's down there. What do you think about what she's done, not only at South Carolina, but just for the sport of basketball?
Hey, look, I look up to Dawn. Even though I'm older than her, I still look up to her. I think she's done a fantastic job. She showed that she is an outstanding coach at every level. she was representing this, Coach Thompson last year. Hey, I take my hat off to her. She's done a remarkable job. And every time she plays and I have the opportunity to watch, I watch. You can always learn.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, go back to Bobby Bancroft.
Hey, Patrick. So obviously you guys are in California and, you got to play some higher teams. South Carolina is an SEC team. What do you hope that your team learned and improved on from the trip to California?
Learn all the mistakes that we made. Learn how that in order to beat the teams that we are going to be facing, starting on Sunday and beyond, the type of games that we have to play. We have to bring our A game from the jump to the end of the game. Out in California, we try to, we didn't do well in the first half, kicked it up in the second half, but then mistakes hurt us, turnovers hurt us. So all the things that hurt us, we have to learn from that and the type of game that we have to play if we want to be successful.
And then about this particular matchup against South Carolina, it's not a team Georgetown's played a lot. How did this matchup come about? Was this kind of like, now you've got two guys from South Carolina on your roster, but at the time when you made it, I think you just had Malcolm, or do you have a relationship with Frank Martin?
I do have a relationship with Frank Martin. His wife is Jamaican. I'm Jamaican. When we see on the road, we always talk about the Jamaican food. He's Cuban. So we're both people of color. And also Malcolm and Caden is from down there, and we wanted to make sure that we brought them back home. James was on the team the first time when we decided to go out to California to bring him back home. Then he left. But Malcolm and Caden are here, so we wanted to bring them home. And Frank and I, we've developed a relationship since I've been in college.
Thank you.
Okay, Patrick Waring.
Hey, Coach. I also wanted to ask you too. I know you guys are obviously going on the road this week for this game, but what are some of your thoughts on the home game so far as the student support, fan support? How has it been just to kind of be back in Cap One and have people around?
Well, it's definitely great to be back home, back in Cap One. Even though McDonough was fine, there was no one in there but us and the other team and the workers. Our first game there, it was a lot more support. We took a few hits in terms of losses, but I think as the season progressed, all our fans will come out. They'll be out for the Syracuse game. They'll be out for the TCU game, and all the rest of the games that we have coming up.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Ron.
Okay, Coach, talk about the inherent tension that coaches all face. You want to develop and play younger guys, but you have to win games to, ultimately keep your job. Talk about that balance in terms of developing, but also winning in the moment.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. If you don't win, your ass will be gone. But we have to develop our young guys because they are our future. So we have a mixture of, we have Don is older. He's been here last year. Caden Rice is new, but he's played big time college basketball for all the years that he's played. Dante he's been here a year. He got the most minutes out of the three guys that are coming back. And both Tim and Malcolm, they were here, but they didn't play very much. Q took most of the minutes at the 5 spot last year. So even though we have a lot of guys that were here last year, the only ones who had played significant minutes were Dante and Don. So we're young. And we got these new guys, Amino, Jordan, Jay Riley, Billingsley, and Ryan. So I think that everyone is learning what it takes to be a Division I athlete and what it takes for us to win. It's going to be a process. Just like I said, at the start of the season, we're going to have our ups and our downs. But hopefully we'll have more ups than down. And at the end of the season, we'll be right where we need to be once everybody grows and gels and learns everything that we need for them to learn.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
We're going to finish it off with Bobby Bancroft.
Hey, Patrick, you're just talking about all the new pieces, and, you know, this is obviously your 5th year, so you've seen it every year. What are the challenges, or how difficult can it be for every high school freshman or every college freshman coming in, having been, like, quote, the man or, you know, the star on their team, to come to college and have to, you know, fit in, and the minutes don't always happen at once? They are for Aminu, but you have a lot of other talented freshmen too.
Yeah, that's a big adjustment. That's something that, you know, we're managing. There's guys that, I think every coach has to manage that. There have guys that been stars in their own right. And look, I've been in the NBA for 15 years. I coached in the NBA. There's guys there that is at the elite. At anywhere in their career, they've been the elite, and they have to take the back seat to the other guys. So those are the things, all the stories that I've learned from being in the NBA, and even myself, my last year playing. I've been a star everywhere I've been. When I went to Orlando, I didn't play very much. I came off the bench, so that was a huge adjustment for me. So those are the things that I talk to them about, and just tell them to be patient. You know, they'll have their opportunity. When their opportunity is given to them, that's when they have to take advantage of it. That's how you get more minutes.
All right, thank you.
Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.
Work on my suicides.